Hey mama, are you feeling overwhelmed? Like no matter how hard you try, you're still not the mom you know you were meant to be? I get it, and I'm here to tell you you were designed for more, and together we can get you there. Welcome to the Nature to Nurture podcast. I'm Tiffany, an early childhood specialist, advocate, and mom on this journey with you. I've spent years supporting families and working with children in those critical first 5 years of life, where every moment counts. But here's the thing. The same caregiving practices that help 0 to 5-year-olds thrive are the very same practices that help us, as adults, live purposeful, connected, and thriving lives. It all begins with intention, mindfulness, and showing up for ourselves and our kids. In this podcast, I'll help you discover simple tips and practices for raising your little ones with intention and care, while also guiding you to become the caregiver that you've always wanted to be, the one that you dream of. Each week, I'll share stories from my own life, some practical strategies, and research-backed insights to help you slow down, reconnect, and find joy in the everyday moments. Whether it's creating a bit of time for unstructured play, setting up your nurturing routines, or taking care of yourself as you care for your kids. This is the place for you. If you're ready to embrace the kind of motherhood that feels aligned with who you truly are, be sure to follow the podcast, leave a review, and join our supportive community. We are here to lift each other up every step of the way. All right, Mama, let's dive into today's episode. Hey there, Mama, and welcome back to the Nature to Nurture podcast. I'm Tiffany, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. This episode is all about prioritizing self-care, but not in the way that you might expect. We're diving into what real self-care looks like when it comes to honoring our needs. It's not just about pampering ourselves, although that's nice too. This is about filling our cups in a way that creates balance, intention, and peace for ourselves and our families. Right now, we are in week 3 of the last 90 days challenge, and today we're going to explore how you can make space for self-care in practical, meaningful ways. So go ahead and grab your favorite drink, get comfy, make sure you have a notebook, or better yet, our workbook, linked down below in the show notes, and let's dive in. Okay, I want to start by talking about what real self-care means. We hear that term a lot, right? And usually it brings up images of spa days or bubble baths, getting your nails done, things that are nice but fleeting. And what I'm talking about today goes deeper than that. This is real self-care. It's about making sure that our fundamental needs are met physically, emotionally, and mentally. It's about setting ourselves up with rhythms and routines that not only help us, but also ripple out to our family. We've been working on creating rhythms as a part of the last 90 days challenge and in a couple of our past episodes. And I know it can feel overwhelming at times. But this is where the real growth happens. When we are pouring into ourselves, we are able to give more, love more, and be more present. One of the most powerful forms of self-care in my experience is creating my weekly plan. I know this might not sound glamorous, but trust me, it is life-changing. Sitting down on Saturday or Sunday of each week to prioritize my needs, also while looking at my family's needs, can transform your day-to-day life. So take a few minutes each weekend to outline your week and ask yourself, what do you need to feel grounded this week? What does your family need from you? And when we create a plan, we actually are giving ourselves permission to have a little bit more control and to be ready for the week ahead. Cuts down on some of that anxiety and that overwhelm when we don't plan. It is so simple, yet it's one of the most important acts of self-care that we can do. If you want to know more about that, I have a little bit of information about my weekly communication board that's linked down in the show notes, so you can actually snag a copy of that yourself and you can put that to place in your own home. Okay, let's talk about something that I know a lot of us struggle with. I still struggle with it sometimes, but it is so important and so helpful. Meal planning. It feels like one of those never-ending tasks because it is. Every week we have to do it again. But I want to shift our mindset to see it instead of a task as a form of self-care. And it really changes everything. When we plan and prepare meals that nourish our body, we are setting ourselves up to have the energy to be the mama that we want to be. And we're also modeling for our kids the importance of taking care of ourselves from the inside out. So spending just a few minutes each week deciding what meals will keep you feeling strong and balanced is critical. And it's not about perfection. It's about making choices that really honor your body and your time. I have a meal planning area on that communication board, and I actually use it to delegate tasks that actually fills my cup as well. So my kiddos cook a meal each one night a week, and they get to choose what they're going to cook. They write it on there. We know the plan. They know when they're cooking. I know what groceries I need to pick up so that they can cook their meal. And then I fill out the others as well. So I'm prepared. I know what to cook each day. I don't have that decision fatigue hitting me. I have the ingredients because I purchased it all because I planned ahead of time, right? Again, prepare yourself. Fill your cup up at the beginning of the week so that you are ready to go through the week. Next, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked: our physical environment. When our space is cluttered or chaotic, it can feel like our minds are cluttered too. And that's why I believe that taking care of our home is an act of self-care. And you don't need to be perfect here either. Trust me, I'm looking at my desk right now and I have a couple of piles that I need to tackle before we start the next week. Carving out a little bit of time each week to organize, declutter, refresh your space can really make a huge difference into how you feel and how your family feels. We might be used to living in cluttered and disorganized, untidy, unclean environments and think that it's normal. But the amount of stress that it is causing us all, everybody in the family, internally and externally, is not worth it. Take some time, set it up to really take care of your environment, to set yourself up for success. Maybe you can go and tidy up the kids' toys or organize that one cupboard in your corner of your kitchen that drives you crazy. I promise a little order in our surroundings creates a whole lot of space and peace in our minds. And of course, I can't leave out the importance of making sure that you are connecting with nature and moving your body. Mama, there is something magical about getting outside, breathing in fresh air, and feeling the ground beneath your feet. Nature has a beautiful way of calming our minds and bringing us back to ourselves. I could go into so many details, the science behind it, but just trust me. Every little bit of nature, sunlight, fresh air, trees, plants, birds, animals, all of it, the flora and the fauna, they are good for you. So get outside, move yourself, take your kids out there. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be a simple walk along the road by your house. It could be letting your kids play outside while you're drinking your coffee in the morning. Or maybe it's dancing on the porch with your kids. Movement and nature are both essential forms of self-care because they really help us to connect with who we are, and that's when we start to thrive. Finally, let's talk about the importance of quality time with our family. That's right. Self-care means taking time for you, But it also means being intentional about the time we spend with loved ones. Whether it is a family game night, a nature walk, or just a cozy story time before bed, these moments fill up your cup in ways that nothing else can. And mama, don't forget about your relationship with your partner. A simple date night can go a long way in keeping that connection strong. This is part of your self-care too. Plan in those moments and make them intentional and make them beautiful. One of my favorite times is when I'm in the car with my children. We have a long car ride, 15 to 30 minutes, no matter where we're going. And taking that time to have conversation with them is beautiful and intentional, and it's that quality time. So you don't have to plan a game night. This can be simple, regular time that you are putting focus on that relationship. Date night doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be time that you are purposefully setting aside to connect with your partner. It's important. Date them again. Go out and sit underneath the stars. Make a little picnic. Do something cute. Remember, self-care isn't selfish. It is essential. When you are taking care of yourself, you're able to show up more fully for the people you love. And that's really what we're all striving for. So as we wrap up today, I want you to take a deep breath and reflect on the rhythms that you're building, the small intentional steps, whether it's planning your week or nourishing your body, taking care of your space, getting moving outside, connecting with your kids and your spouse. All of these are forms of self-care. And when we make them a priority, we are creating the foundation for the kind of life that we truly want to live, and we're modeling for our kids for the life that we truly want them to live as well. Wow, what a journey we've been on today. As we wrap up, I just want to take a moment to remind you how important it is to nurture yourself. Life gets busy, and it is all too easy to put our own needs, the needs of the mama, on the back burner. Trust me. Prioritizing self-care isn't just a nice to have, do it sometimes. It is essential for both you and your family. Think about those rhythms that we talked about. I want you to imagine what it would feel like to have intentional practices woven into your daily life. Things like enjoying nourishing meals, creating a calm space at your house, having meaningful moments with your kids, with your husband. This isn't just a fantasy. It is totally achievable. You have the power to shape your life in a way that truly reflects who you are at your core. If you're feeling inspired and ready to take that next step, I invite you to join my Rooted and Radiant, the Nourished Mom Coaching Program, which I am opening up in November. I have 3 spots for some wonderful moms to join me. And in this program, we are going to work closely together. I will be right there with you, helping you to cultivate those self-care practices that will truly fill up your cup. You do not have to do this alone. I'm going to be your personal guide, and we will explore ways to make your days feel more intentional and connected. Together, we can turn those dreams into some actionable steps that align with who you want to be as a mom and as a woman. So as you go about your day, I want you to remember, taking care of yourselves is not selfish. It is so crucial to being the amazing mom that you want to be. Embrace your rhythms that we talked about. Go outside in nature and make sure to check in with yourself. You deserve every bit of love and care that you give to others. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate you being here and listening. You don't know how much it means to me when I see those plays and when I talk to you, many of you in person or virtually. I know that this is making a difference to you. So thank you for listening. And until next time, take a deep breath, know that you're not alone on this journey, and let's keep nurturing ourselves and our families together. You've got this, Mama.